What's up everyone, Joshua at Ohio Fish Rescue. So many of you always ask me in videos, comments, whatever it might be. You guys always ask us about the quarantine process. So today we're just going to take some time. I'm going to explain what we do, show you the medications that we use, and basically our whole process for how we quarantine fish, because we do get a lot in, and I mean a lot. These tanks always become filled, so we're going to go ahead and take a dive into that. Okay, so first we're going to talk about, the fish that we get in. We get in, all sorts of fish. We get common fish, we get expensive fish, we get big fish, we get small fish. We get, down here some pond fish that were rescued, up here some African cichlids and other types of cichlids and plecos that were rescued and whatnot. So, you know what? No, it doesn't matter what the fish is. The quarantine process is kind of always the same. So we get a fish in, they go through around 3 weeks of treatment, and then the fish are good to go to be released to their new homes. As you guys can see, we got these new 135s set up. I got pre-seeded sponges in there, so these tanks are good to go. We are doing a water test on them right now. At first I had a little issues with some of our plumbing. I since fixed that, and the tanks have been good. But while filling this tank, I don't know if you guys can see, but where'd he go? Oh, there he is. There was an African cichlid that hitched a ride through the siphon hose because we filled it from the Bellagio tanks over here, and one got sucked through this pump and went in, shoot through the tank. But every time we like to, just water test. These tanks have been sitting empty for quite some time. They were, the DAS tanks, so they had this black silicone tape that goes in between the panels. So I went ahead and reinforced the seams with just beads of silicone in the corner to give this tank some extra life. So now we are water testing it. It's now been a whole 24 hours and no leaks so far. It is good. We did have some issues with the bulkhead leaking here for a minute. We had that bulkhead leaking. It was just this top tank to be honest, and now we are pretty much good. So once this tank comes back up online, it will then be used for quarantine. But let's jump back into the main discussion topic. We have these tubs here. These are for mainly some of the larger fish, like this giant gourami. His name is Bubba, so he's gonna get healed up. So first and foremost, we love to treat stuff with heat and good water. With enough heat and good water, a lot of times fish will remedy themselves, but that will not always be the case. So first and foremost, what do we do when a new fish comes in? Say we just got this arapaima in. We don't know what its temperament's like. We don't know what the fish eats. We don't know how it acts with other fish. So there's a lot of unknowns with a lot of fish that you come in. So a lot of the times it comes down to basic knowledge. Like, hey, if I look at these fish and say, hey, can these cichlids go in with each other? Most of the time it's fine, but sometimes you'll get something that doesn't work out. Or like, hey, can Oscars and plecos go in together? Like, obviously I wouldn't put these Oscars or these cichlids in with these long fin cold water koi here. This is a cool water tank. They might bite on some of the long fins down there. They might, act up towards each other. So you got to kind of divide them up into different tanks. I also divide them up by, when these fish come in. So, this fish might have been here for 2 weeks and they've got another couple days before they come out of quarantine. So I don't want to add more fish to this tank and restart the process, because that's what happens. That's why we're trying to set up more and more quarantine tanks and, just move this ball, because a lot of times with these larger tubs and the larger fish, we'll have to restart quarantine. And I will say a couple of times that people come and get fish, they do not worry about quarantine because they're going to have to re-quarantine the fish when they get home. So this quarantine process here is pretty much for myself. Basically my own selfies to know that these fish are okay. But if I take a look at this fish and he's been here for a couple of days and someone actually wants him, I make a judgment call and say, hey, this fish is pretty much doing okay. He has not gone through the full quarantine process, but he looks good and healthy to me. You are welcome to come and pick him up. But what do I do for the quarantine process? So if a fish is sick, you know, first and foremost, one of the best things to do for him is a water change. You do a nice water change, and then what do you do after that water change? Well, that depends on the sickness. So for a fungus, that's, you know, these white, you know, cottony growths on the fish, fungus can be a real problem. It could be a pest in your tank. It can kill your fish. Well, we have a easy cure for fungus. And what that is simply salt. So what I like to do for a sick fish, I like to raise the temperature of the water to, you know, anywhere from 84 to 86 degrees. As you can see in this tank here, sick arapaima, I've got the heat up to 86 degrees. What this does, it entices the fish to be more active and want to eat more readily. It is not working in the case of this arapaima, but I am not giving up hope. So along with the heat, we do add salt, and the salt actually kills off the fungus. So that is the cheapest, easiest way for the, you know, fungal diseases on your fish. Now, say if you have stuff like ick or velvet, it's actually an external parasite, and one of the best things to do is A, you do a water change. B, again, you pump up that heat, because the heat will actually kill off the smaller baby spores of the ick or the parasite that is in your water. So it's going to help you get rid of the case. You know, sometimes on a very moderate case, I can just use heat and be able to get rid of ick. But if it is a more, you know, profound case and they are covered in ick, then I would do a water change. I would then add the heat, and then I would do a medicine. So as far as ick goes, we use this stuff right here. I buy it in the 1 gallon jug, and we use this broad spectrum disease treatment. So this covers, again, it's fungus, parasites, and some antibacterial. It's like 60 bucks for a 1 gallon jug, and it works wonders. Okay, so what are we supposed to do if you have something like anchor worms? These are these, you know, little white worms that hang out the side of your fish. They usually have this little prong at the end. You can see them just flailing in the water. They are a real pain to get rid of, and they can soon, you know, again, they can kill your fish. A lot of times you can pull them out manually, and that could, you know, set a fish off and end up killing them. Or you can essentially pull the worm out. I don't like manually removing them. What I like to do is kill them. I have run into cases to where I've had to treat my entire system over, you know, 100,000 gallons here of the actual aquariums, and it was not that bad. Not as bad as you think it would be. You think of 100,000 gallons of water, you think, oh my God, he must have spent a couple $1,000s in medication. Well, nope, I've got another easy fix. Go over here to my handy dandy medicine shelf, and what is this? I just shook it. That's a natural reaction. I'm sorry. We use this stuff called Dimilin X, and this is good for fish lice, anchor worms, and a couple other like gill flukes and stuff, but it will kill off a lot of your crustaceans. So it will cut down on your snail colonies, stuff like that. You have to watch out for shrimp, so you do have to watch out what kind of fish you put it in with, but it is plant safe. And this jug here is like 40 bucks, and look at that, treats 200,000 gallons for 40 bucks. I was like, heck yeah, I treated my whole system twice. I forgot to mention on this broad spectrum disease treatment, we spend 60 bucks and treat almost 40,000 gallons. So on these smaller quarantine tanks, like this 80 gallon and 40 gallon over here, it lasts a long time. So I might run through one of these things a month, just because I overdo it a lot. But some of the other medicines I use safe. That is, tap water conditioner, stuff like that. I really love to use General Cure. That is a mix of metronidazole and Prazipro. As you can see down here, good friends from Aquascape, we got the praziquantel treatment. So that is the same thing as Prazipro. But we've got, those are our generic meds, and of course we get stuff that are donated to us, and we go ahead and use that stuff up as well. So that pretty much is it. We try to do one, oh no, I forgot. Let's go back to the shelf. I forgot one of my main staples, and that's down here on the bottom. We use this stuff. Oh, where's it at? Where's it at? Let's see if I can get one out. Here we go. This is called Canaplex. This is a antibacterial, and the good thing about this is, normally with an antibacterial, you have to get the fish to ingest it. This is one that is absorbed through the skin, and it is able to help, treat, again, fungal and bacterial fish disease. So if you have like Popeye, fin rot, stuff like that, you even get some more profound diseases that get a little bit more into it, like septicemia. That's a hard one to get rid of, but it is possible if you treat it with enough urgency and you don't let stuff go on for days. Like, hey, my fish has these red streaks on his belly, I'm just going to see how it turns out. Well, if you're used to it, you're like, that ain't normal, let me look it up. That is signs of septicemia. So if you treat it quick enough, you can get rid of it, but I have lost a lot of fish to septicemia in the past. This stuff, happens quick. It doesn't happen over the course of a couple of days. It's one day your fish is fine, the next day he's sick, the day after that he's dead. So you have to, like I said, you have to move with urgency. So that is about it for what we do for quarantine. So hope you guys enjoyed the little informative video. The more you guys ask about them, I will redo some of the videos of the past. I have done this video before. The information really has not changed, but I love pumping out videos for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, stay fishy, my friends.